It makes sense why some of you don't like to vote, why you don't think it's important. Look at what the Republican Party is doing. This country is chaotic. This democratic process that we have in this country over 200 and almost 50 years is chaotic. You have everybody going at each other, can't talk decent to each other, racist toward each other, want to try to hurt each other. Yes, this is our country in the current condition. This is how it is today. But look, voting can change all of that. You getting involved, getting engaged, doing what you're supposed to do, register and voting, actually changes all of this. Well, these Republicans can't do these things, power control. We can control these courts, make sure they stay lawful, they treat you right. You actually get the rights that you were promised and guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. But sitting on your behind is not going to get them. Being lazy and not thinking this important or doing everything else except for being engaged and being involved and paying attention to your country and doing your civic duty and voting is not going to do it. If you don't vote, if you don't get involved, you don't engage yourself, your country going to be lost. The freedoms you think you have now will be gone. Slavery is something that happened in this country that a lot of Republicans want you to forget. You got to understand that you can go to those times too. You may think you're going to do some fighting and all this other stuff that you do now, but that's going to be gone. You may lose your life trying to fight then. Now you actually have a shot. But later, that won't be promised. I'm going to make sure I guarantee my rights. I don't care what's the cost of them to make sure they're guaranteed for me. What about you? What are you going to do? Because you think that you can't go backwards to something you're not familiar with or you never have been through yet. It is coming if you don't do anything and you don't get up and get off your behind and get to that poll booth and vote and register and vote and make sure you check that voter registration every year to make sure you're still registered. Because if you are thrown off the voter roll, which Republicans seem to like to do a lot, because not automatic voter registration in these states, the Republican states, you need to re-register to vote at your Secretary of State's website in your state. In Georgia here, you can go to the Secretary of State website, sos.ga.gov, and go register to vote. You actually can do it on my website as well, which will be down in the caption of this video message. So make sure you register and vote and help others. Assist each other to do this. This is the most important thing in the world. If we don't pass this debt ceiling cleanly, as the Republicans did for 4 years while Donald Trump was president, they had no problem with it. But they like to play games when a Democrat get in the White House, when a Democrat is the president of this country, or when we have one house, which we have the U.S. Senate, the Democratic control, and the Republicans have the U.S. House. They want to try to, we're going to strong arm them. We're going to play Russian roulette with everything. Yeah, let's make them struggle. To make them come and bow down to us. If that's what they think this country is about, we need to show them why they know that it's not. We need to show them that this country is not about nobody bowing down to anyone. We all supposed to work together. But these Republicans do not want to work with this country. They don't want to make it better. They want to make it worse. They want to turn back the time back to the time when you was a slave and your black self, your Latino self didn't have rights. Asians, you don't have rights. Them empowered, even the white people, they even white black people actually be a Republican, to be a Latina and an Asian American, to be a Republican. Just watch them. They just betray themselves. Any value they have. How can you justify being them? Look at what they want to do when they can't have their way. They'll tear their country apart. They'll embarrass all of us. This is what you want for your country. This is what you want to live in. Chaos all the time. Every time they get in power, every state they run in, everything they doing, every Republican that's in the office is causing chaos somewhere. Doing some kind of corrupt deed somewhere. That's why they like to put judges in place. See, when I talked about all of this stuff about judges and law enforcement and clerks in the courts and how the court process is in the country, I talked about it because I know it. 14 years of me fighting in it, and it don't get right. It's not lawful. Things I done seen, breaking the laws, violating your right, trying to keep you from getting compensation, getting money that owed to you. When you try to do the lawful way, it's like you try to do what's right, they do what is wrong. They go break the law, and then nothing is done. We got to hold them accountable for this. It's us. It starts with us fighting. You can't ever believe that you cannot change this. You can change anything. You can be anything you want. Hold on.